I feel like we're playing like Duck Duck Goose.
Oh, that was a great game.
Yeah, right?
I used to love that shit.
But you don't play it much as an adult.
No.
I'm the asshole that takes.
Let's have a Duck Duck Goose party.
Yeah.
I'm the asshole that like took too long because I'd have the power to like wait forever to say like goose.
Like me after Paula.
Yeah.
Like that one that's about to say goose and it's like, duck.
Yeah, that's me.
Like the person who you're going to do it to is ready, they're like, and then like, and then you goose it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's a weird game that's probably not allowed to be played in this country due to health and safety now or some shit like that.
Probably.
Because people fall over. I'm going to do something different, and normally I do quite a lot of research for interviews, but I thought, seeing as it's your first time at Rebellion, let's do it. Let's try and learn more about you.
Sure.
That's rad.
So obviously, as everyone will be able to hear, you are from the United States of America.
Yes.
How are you finding the UK?
Fucking brilliant.
I love it.
Yeah.
We are very, very, very much in love and very happy to be
I
here.
wasn't excited when I gave him $800 and I got 400 back.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Other than that, it's been really cool. Everyone's been really fucking nice. So.
Because you've been over for like what, about a week now, week and a half.
Just a week,
Over a week, yeah.
It's pretty exciting. We have no CDs. Well, Mark from Head Check Records bought some more CDs that we sent to him a while ago. But besides that, all sold out of CDs. We've only done like six or seven shows. No CDs left. We have, I think, 4 7-inches left. It's just crazy. People buy music out here. That's rad. Like, I mean, is that the case? Do you find more people, like when you go to shows, people actually buy music from bands they haven't heard of?
I think so. I think that's the way it works.
Yeah.
That people would rather. I think the music industry in this country is people would rather have a physical CD or vinyl. Like I think this country there's a real resurgence in vinyl.
Yeah, huge.
Even like cassettes as well. Like in this country, like people will buy cassettes. Bands will put cassettes out.
Yeah.
Because obviously anyone can just go online and download it,
Spotify.
which most people do.
Which is
but
fine.
Then they like having that kind of collectible
That's
thing
what I've
about
noticed.
it.
Yeah, not too many people, at least where we come from, they mainly buy t-shirts.
Yeah.
Like that's why we have so many, because we'll print one and then somebody will buy it, and like the next show that they come to, they want something else to buy, and so you have to have a new print with it.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a certain sect of people that actually do like to buy like vinyl collectors and stuff like that. They're out there in the States, but it just seems like much more so here.
It's a proper fan, isn't it? Vinyls.
Yeah.
That's how it is in the States too, though.
It is.
We never
It's
thought
still a fat
that we would sell out of those fucking splits. I mean, come on, let's be real. Like,
Yeah, there's only 2 songs on there, and they're demo versions of the new stuff.
I've got vinyl at home. I've not even got a player.
That's
I've got
us
no
right here.
record
He
player.
just
Some
got a
people,
record player, and I have a ton of vinyl. And he started collecting vinyl as well before we got record players. But it's more of, like, I don't know how you would say it. It's we don't.
when you find something classic and old.
Exactly. Like I don't do any like reissue stuff. I don't do that at all. Unless it's like reissue colored or something like that.
There are a few that even if it is reissued, I still need it, because if I want to have any kind of party or like anything, I need to have it just to listen to. Okay. So there are a few reissues. Don't judge me.
You don't even want to play. Like I got this.
No.
After Bowie died, I got like Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spires from Mars. Like, it was fucking expensive, but it was an original pressing from like 1972, and I'm just like, I love this thing so much, but I don't want to play.
You just want to sniff it.
I have a couple of Depeche Mode ones and some Clash ones that are like that too, and I'm like, I'm never gonna play this record. They're in frames, like on my wall.
Yeah.
Bruce got me a super black market Clash, like secondhand off weird pressing of something random. Yeah.
The Japanese ones are cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Japanese pressing or like the UK. Well, I mean for you guys.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, I've got Head First for Halos by Mychem.
Okay.
And I took, we were at Reading, at Leeds a couple of years ago, so I took it because I knew I was meeting Frank Hero. I was like, I've got to get it. And like he signed it, and then he was asking me loads of questions, and I'm like, I've never listened to it. Dude. Like I've got no record, I've got no record player. I've just got it in my house, and I wanted to. Like, I didn't want to take. I've got Thank You for the Venom, but I'm like, I'm not getting to sign that because every fucker's got that. I'm taking the rare one that I've got just sitting about.
He just did a tour with one of our favorite artists, Dave Haas, supporting him, and that's like when we were writing the new record. That's we were listening to a lot of Dave Haas.
Yeah. Come on, kid, come on.
And then she was listening to a lot of like the stand-up comedy.
And transgender.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, that was on my
Against me,
repeat.
of course. Yeah. But yeah, England has definitely spoiled us. Like when we go back, like I mean, we all have families and stuff to go back to, and cats.
I have cats.
Steve Zimbowie, this one's for you guys.
I'm already like, fuck, dude, we can go back and we're like back to normal selves. You know what I mean? Like shit.
And I heard that even more so is like Europe, like Germany and not so much Italy because it's still expensive there, but like Paris, and everything is pretty inexpensive, and you don't pay for any flats in your band. Everybody takes care of you, and it's even a bigger scene. So that's definitely going to be next time.
But we've met a few nice people that have held us up, so it's really cool that they would even just
So there's always someone who's willing to give you a floor, even if it's just a floor to sleep on.
Yeah.
There's just been this guy Tommy and Bob that have both helped us out, so we're really thankful for them too.
That went on a massive tangent. Of
That's what I love tangents.
I love tangents. Yeah.
Questions are good, but I like just talking because then you get to really know people.
I actually answered the question. I was waiting for you to.
I answered the question with the question.
I can't remember what the question was.
I don't know.
I think it was how do you
find it?
But there you go. Whole shit.
I like mashed potatoes, so let's go on that tangent.
There's a mashed potato bar.
Dude, it blew my mind.
We should have used our freaking vouchers for that. No, we've been eating the vegan food.
That's the weirdest thing ever in this place is the mashed potato bar.
That is bizarre.
What do they have? Mashed potatoes?
For whatever type
I think you get like a topping though.
Garlic and butter and cheese.
It's a weird thing.
So good.
I want to eat cheese so badly.
We met this band called the Screech Bats, and they're fucking rad.
They're from here. They're from
They
London.
played today, and they have this song. It's like, and I wanna believe so badly. And we were like hungry one day listening to their record, and we're like, and I wanna eat cheese so badly.
That's all that I hear now.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
they're good. You gotta
fun.
check them out.
Yeah, to support more local stuff, definitely check out the Screech Bats. They're
Hip Priest.
Hip
for
Priest.
Sure. Hip Priests are awesome.
Dude.
Holy shit.
Yalla yalla yallas.
Yeah,
They were rad.
it's
They're from Leeds.
amazing. They're from who else are we obsessed with on this tour? I can't think of. There's one right now that's like.
That's like seriously one of my new favorite
can't
bands
stop.
of all time.
Yeah,
I want to kidnap
And I'm
them.
fucking anal when it comes to music. Like, I don't listen to anything past like 1996 unless it's like really good and it sounds snobby as shit.
You're jaded.
Oh yeah, dude. But then I was like, oh my god, like this band's amazing.
You need Apple Music is what you need.
I have Spotify.
Really? Apple Music. Since I got Apple Music, first thing on a Friday morning, check what new records are out, and then
There's just so many new records though in the world of music. It's so saturated. You know
gotta
what I mean?
you gotta
But you
try
guys
it.
still like, support it because it's our first time over and we're doing, we're either the first band or the second band, you know what I mean? And there's people already outside the door. And I asked this guy, I'm like, dude, like, why are you here? Because in the States, actually, I shouldn't say just all in the States, just at least in Southern California, you'll get a band that plays and like people will show up like, they'll trickle in
Half
throughout
of
the
the
night.
set.
And then the guy, I asked the guy and he was like, well, because, hopefully one day you'll be the main band and we caught you guys while you were smaller. And I was like, that's fucking the way it should
That's
be.
how we used to think when we were growing up.
Yeah, when we were like 18, 19, we
Yeah.
would line up outside. There was this amazing venue in Corona called Showcase Theater.
The Showcase.
Holy shit. And like everyone fucking played there. Blink-182 played there before they got huge, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And like we would go and just show up like, an hour.
It didn't matter who was
before.
playing. We would just show up like.
We'd hang
remember,
out before the show.
We get the flyer in like Mean Street Magazine or Scratch, and I go
Scratch
to
Magazine,
2 pages. I would go to the public storage page, a venue, and then the Showcase Theater
Chain
page
Reaction.
or Glass House, and I'd like map out like what my allowance for that month is gonna like be like geared towards, and
I worked through mine.
I did not work. I was spoiled.
No, I know what you mean though. Like that's one of the things that always amazes. Like I always want to hate like bands like Sleeping with Sirens, but then if you go to one of their gigs, like the kids literally are there from doors and know every single song of every single support act.
It's fucking
And
awesome.
it's awesome. I want to hate it, but at the same time, like there's so much admiration for it because like as much as that band are a gateway band, like they're introducing
to the idea of live music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the way it should be. It's like you bring supporting bands because you want other people to see them, But like I said, like it's not like that everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, but what can you do? You work your way up over here.
Yeah.
I'll go on a tangent really quick. There's a psychobilly band from Arizona called the Quakes.
Oh, yeah.
And they actually weren't successful in the United States for a while, and they came over here and they moved here and lived here. And they just toured Europe for years and years and years, and then they went back to the States and they were huge there, and people thought they were a European band.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah.
That's my tangent.
It's like Pet and Pendants. They've told me they're the same.
Oh, really?
Pet and Pendant are massive over here. Like they'll sell out
Yeah.
huge rooms, but then I've spoke to Joe before, and he's like, they can't catch a break in like New York.
Do you guys have what's called pay to play out here? Does that sound familiar? Word?
You do. They do. They do it with tours. Tommy was telling me you can like pay like a certain amount of $1,000 to jump on a tour.
Yeah, but that's different than actually like a booker going, hey, I'm booking, the Misfits, and I'm looking for local bands.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I think maybe that's why we can kind of get jaded where we live. I'm not blaming anybody, but it could be a symptom of there's a lot of promoters. Like in my mind, a promoter for a show should go, hey, this is what I do for a job. I'm going to go seek out, leftover crack, and I want to put a show together. And I see that they're on tour. I'm going to. This is their guarantee. Okay, what bands would be great with them that I can have be a direct support? Okay, they're bringing. Okay, that's going to be my direct support. They're on tour with them. What local bands can I get that would be great? That would even if they don't draw, they'd be a good color palette, and then they set it up. That's not what happens. A promoter gets hit up from Leftover Crack or whatever band. Hey, I'm going to be playing this area in your venue. I want to book you, and they'll go, okay, here's your guarantee. And what opening band do you want to play? I don't know. Just put my feelers out and see who wants to play. And then you have to sell 100 tickets, and you have to be selling them at $10 each. And whatever you don't sell, you have to pay me the rest to guarantee their spots. Instead of them working their butts off and promoting it and making sure people show up and get their money back. It's just I think it's a laziness and complacency.
I think there are promoters like that in this country and especially I felt in this genre, so the guys that are putting the older punk bands on that just want to see their favourite bands play but don't know how to promote.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is.
Yeah, we've been to shows where are literally the band that are headlining are being put on by some old punk dude, and they've had to pay for press to get in there. Even though the press are gonna be there and help promote the show, the promoter's gone, nah, I don't want to help promote my show.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I think that's out there where people have got. I mean, there are promoters that make bands sell tickets, like you say.
Yeah.
So that's obviously
So it's everywhere.
It is. Bottom line, we just love this place.
Yeah.
That's the main theme here. And I don't want to say I hate where we live. I really don't. It is fun. There are some really good people that still come out and support us.
Yeah.
But it feels fewer and far between.
So is there plenty of venues to play?
Lots of venues, yeah. Lots of bars, lots of...
But on the plus side, because you've got a lot of venues that are kind of treating up and coming bands that way of hey, if you want to play, you have to pay. So there is a bigger underground DIY scene because of it. Smaller festivals are just randomly being put on in downtown Santa Ana by people who just want to do a good show.
Yeah.
And they might not be hey, we can't really pay you much, but we're going to have a bunch of people there, and you can just sell gigs, sell merch and stuff, and smaller
exposure. It's
it's just being part of the community. So maybe everything goes circle one.
No,
everything goes in a circle, so it's getting too jaded to the point of people are being more underground and more DIY. It's not a bad thing. It's just another way to look at it.
I mean, you played the introducing stage. How long have you guys been doing this as a band? Because obviously this is your first time over here. But you've mentioned up and coming bands in shows in the US. But how long have the last gang been a thing?
Well, we broke up for a few years in the later 2010s ish. I guess I don't know.
We were just a gigging band. We just did local stuff. We put out some albums.
We did a tour with Anti-Nowhere League. That was the biggest thing we did. It was Anti-Nowhere League, Asher's, Dwayne Peters' Gunfight, and this band called Cobra Skulls.
That's what the band name was. Cobra Skulls.
Cobra Skulls.
Fuck yeah.
San Francisco.
After that tour, we all kind of just were scattered around with where we were, and we broke up for a few years. And then in 2013, we got back together. Brenna called me, or we called each other, something like that. And then we were like, let's do it. And and then we got Sean a couple years later.
I joined the band.
We did. We stole him. That's how you get.
stole him from
That's how you
his
get
old
musicians.
I played in a band called the Fisters for a long time. Same thing, gigging band, just played shows and stuff. And we played a show, and by fate, I stuck around to the very end because they were playing last. We were supposed to play last, and
You fucked us over, Sean.
one of the drummers didn't
Fucked
show up
us.
for the first band, so they were like,
kidding.
"Does somebody want to play first?" Fuck yeah, I want to play first. I'm not staying here until 2 a.m.
And then you did.
You should always stay.
I know,
Yeah.
totally. But
And he
Terrible
did.
band. That's terrible band etiquette.
I wasn't drinking at the time, and I was just kind of like just not happy. And I was just
Damn, that went
I had to
dark.
drive. And
No,
all-
I mean, do you
no,
really-
anyway, I stuck around. Let's get past all that shit. Robbie was there to see our band open up, and he dug us. And I stuck around and watched the last gang, and I was fucking blown away. I was like, wow, these guys are fucking cool. And we just became friends on Facebook.
On Facebook, friends?
Facebook. I went to
You're
a
not
couple of
friends
their
unless you
gigs
go on
over the next
Facebook.
year, and then they needed a bass player, and they reached out to me. So it was
Yeah,
cool.
we did a little
No.
Arizona tour, and I was like, Sean.
Yeah, that was a
Active
test
bass
run.
playing. Yeah, it was a
Sean,
test run.
learn the songs in what was it, like a
It was
week
like
or so.
a week. I was like, here's the
Get
song.
in the van.
Learn them. I think you can do it.
Yuma, Arizona.
And I did it.
Yuma dogs.
Yeah, you,
Oh my god, I forgot about Yuma dogs.
so yeah, that was 2015, I believe. So,
Talk about a rad scene, Yuma, Arizona.
yeah,
Yeah, Yuma, Arizona brings it.
Dude.
Like Phoenix and all that stuff, you have to be like a huge band, but like the smaller cities in general, when it comes to the United States, people come out more. You
It's the
know?
only thing going on in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Utah Warped Tour with my older band, actually, a band called Introspect, who played Rebellion a few years ago. Now, fucking half that band is in Leftover Crack, which is weird. But when we did Warped Tour, the only date that sells out on Warped Tour is Utah, because there's nothing going on. But every other date, it's like you'll get close.
Yeah.
But dude,
Yeah.
Utah sells out pre-sale like as soon as like it's announced.
Yeah.
It's a trip. But yeah, but like going back to saying the smaller shows, Yuma, Pomona's all right too. You know, Pomona.
Lake Havasu is cool.
Oh yeah, Lake Havasu is cool too.
Dude,
But that's
Havasu.
Arizona. Like it's on, you know, it's Arizona's small city.
It's like a bunch of punk rockers. It's like all the spring breakers go there in college, and it's super fucking just, you know. It's lame. So anyway, all these kids in Lake Havasu, they like break away from that shit, and they're throwing punk shows at this little like it looked
Warehouse.
Like it was an old,
It was an abandoned warehouse.
It looked like a tire shop.
Yeah, it looked like a tire shop.
It was a boat shop.
T-I-R-E, by the way, not T-Y-R. I noticed that. I'm all,
And yeah, those kids are cool, but they I guess since lost that venue. So.
I'm just happy that we're finally we're now a 3-piece, because touring's a lot easier with 3 people.
Especially that van.
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Expenses are hard because there's only 3 of you to split it, but there's so much more.
Brenna's the
room.
driver.
Always
I'm
the
Mad
driver.
Marge from
Pee-wee's Big Playhouse.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, that's what it is.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah.
You ever seen that? Oh god, you got
Pee-wee
well,
Herman?
it's a staple.
So I remember the thing.
There's you'll see. I'm Mad Marge in there.
Is that the new one? No.
No,
No.
it's the old one. It's like the first or second movie.
1980.
Yeah.
Is that the Tim Burton one, or is it?
Yeah, Tim Burton did it.
Yeah.
Correct.
I know
Yes.
I knew it was a Tim Burton film. I just
Yeah.
never call myself Tim Burton.
Yeah. Tim Burton's cool.
Yeah, she drives us, and she even like had the balls to drive us from when we first got the van in London. We're like, oh, dude, we're gonna die.
Never driven on the side of the road before in my life. It's a fun adventure. It was a new experience.
I trust her though, because at home our van is her daily commuter. So it's like she.
There's this
drives
little
the van
tiny
around.
like white chick that like gets out of this big old van, and I get a lot of looks all the time from people going, "Who the fuck?"
It's cheaper that way. Saves. I mean, a band van, you've just got one all the time.
Yeah, it's just an extra car. Hopefully we'll get one soon.
It's weird, it's weird that you're saying people come out for like smaller shows in America, because I always find that's different in this country. Smaller towns, the draw seems always
It's
really
sleepy.
I feel like it depends though.
Like,
You know,
how
we've
was
been doing good.
Derby? Because you played Head Check there.
Which was Derby? Oh,
Yeah.
a lot of people came out to
was
that.
it a big one?
Yeah.
Because usually, like every show I've been to Derby, like
The Hairy Dog. That's what
Hairy
I
Dog,
was from.
yeah.
it's always dead.
Really?
Like, I've seen some like
Amazing bands
huge
in
bands
Derby and
play
hardly
in
any.
Derby,
Yeah.
and like
Well, also the guy-
There's some great bands that go through there.
Yeah, the guy from Head Check Records, Mark, he worked his butt off too. So whatever great response was there, it's probably just because of him. But it was a good show. I mean, it's a big room, but it was pretty packed. You know, there's a lot of people there.
What time were you about?
We were
third to last band.
third to last, fourth to last, something like that.
We were on at like 9, I think.
8-ish.
7, 8.
It seemed like people were kind of.
We haven't gone used to the time change yet. I was like, in reality, we went on at like 2 p.m. in our minds.
Yeah.
But that goes back to what you were saying. You know, the promoters actually promote. Like, it's like their job. I mean, I don't mean to make it sound stuck up at all, because we're not. But your name is a promoter. Like, that's your fucking job. Like, our band, like, we'll promote it on our websites and all that stuff, but your job is to promote. Our job is to show up and play.
And take
you know what I mean?
Like that, because if you're the promoters yourselves, you're
Then why
only
am I-
going to get
yeah.
people who already know or already like your band. Like,
That's
a
a good way
promoter
of
is to
putting it.
draw new people in.
Correct.
Like, it's pointless. If you're a promoter and a lazy promoter is worthless.
Yeah, no, he rocks. He rocks it really well.
Mark is
and
awesome, yeah.
he's been he
Mark
actually
and
got us into
Lynn.
the Screechbacks, right? And
I got into the street shows just by watching.
well, no, I mean, because he booked him with us.
Oh yeah,
but he actually helped us out too. Before I ever met him, like in person, this is the first time I've ever met him. I met his wife Lynn first in Vegas, who I love. But before we did anything with him, I asked him, like, hey, could we give you our split that we have? It's 2 songs of a demo version of the new album we got coming out. Can I give them to you, and you could just sell them over there? And he said, yeah. And he didn't ask for anything. It wasn't anything uncomfortable. I just shipped him over, and you know, he said, I don't really have that much luck selling splits, but he did his best and even had some extra money for us. And like, you should just keep that for like your troubles and helping us. But he's really worked his butt off to get our music out here with that split that we just did. So we're stoked. We're really blessed. We're lucky.
So do you think you'll be using him for the album?
Well,
We can't talk about that right now.
we have plans. We do have a new album coming out. It is.
We could say it's going to be on many people's favorite record label.
What's the word? Imminent. It's coming out imminently, and it will be worldwide. So yes, I don't believe it won't be through Mark, but I know he does some distribution out here, so it might be somebody that can like work side by side with him. I would love that because I do want to help him any way I can. And even if it's not, I'm still going to come back out here and we're still going to do stuff with him. Like that guy's now become family.
He's been great.
But yeah, new album will definitely be out really soon, and I'm super excited. Super excited.
We recorded it with Cameron Webb a year ago, so it's we've just been holding our breath, hoping that something would happen with it.
I hope this. When you say everyone's favourite record label, I hope that people just googling everyone's
favorite record label.
We did it with Cameron a year ago. He did the last 6 Motorhead records, and he did the last No Effects record, and he's done like Pennywise, Ignite, and then since he did the last few Motorhead records, Phil Campbell from Motorhead is actually on the new record of ours.
We got him to do a little
solo.
All we have to do is buy him
Lincoln.
some tacos.
Yeah,
But we still haven't bought tacos.
Yeah, we still haven't bought tacos. Yeah, so it's gonna be good.
Cameo to have on a record.
It was pretty sweet.
Which we're not even like that kind of band. But
I don't think we're gonna put his name on it because it wasn't like, hey, can we have him on there to have the name? We just needed a really ripping solo, and Cameron goes, I'll call Phil.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
He says we watch a lot of Scooby Doo, and he called us cunts.
Yeah.
But obviously he liked the song because he didn't want to charge us for
He
it.
said he fucking loves it after the whole Scooby Doo.
And he got to play Pennywise's bass that was left in the studio.
Randy from Pennywise's 1978 T-bass, so that was really cool.
And we played through Lemmy's guitar head too.
We did. So we were really
There's a lot of cool energy behind that record, like positive energy behind it. So.
How hard is it sitting on a record that's made like
so
waiting?
fucking hard. You have no idea.
My hands were like red from doing like the same fucking drum fill. He's like, do it again. I felt it that time, but it wasn't
I think
time.
she means
like not putting
not
it
being
out.
able to release
Oh, my bad.
We actually, we wanted to take some over here, but because it is being released imminently, we decided to hold off on that so we can just do the full blown, just push it out. But it was really hard. It was really hard sitting it. Of course, all of our family has heard it like 1,000 times by now. They're probably sick of it.
I'm sick of it.
You've not even played it yet.
yeah.
Well, we started playing tunes off the new record, about 8 months ago? 9 months ago?
Yeah, we did a little video for, we did 10 songs we finally narrowed them down to, and we recorded 11 of them as like demo versions of them, and 2 of them were on the split that Mark put out, and 1 of them was Believe in the Poet, and we did a video for it, just like a self-made little DIY thing that we put up, and that had a good response, and I think that's going to be my favorite one on the album, I think.
And then we actually finally, we took those, we added another song that we left off the album called I Am the Disease. It was the second track.
B-side.
It's on
Spotify.
B-side that never made it. It's on Spotify
So
only.
you guys can check that out on there. It was the second track, or second song we played tonight.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I mean, it's, when I walked into this, I was just like, cool, they already have all the demos recorded. All I have to do is learn them and play bass.
Yeah.
Get in the van, Sean.
But yeah, we became like best friends. Like,
I was gonna say, it feels assimilated. It doesn't feel like you've just been. Like, there's certain bands where you kind of see them playing when a member's been added. Like,
It feels awkward.
yeah, sometimes you kind of feel they just don't gel.
Maybe
quite
at
right, but-
first,
yeah,
we're
We were
not,
friends beforehand, so it's kind of easy.
and we're not the people. Me and Robert aren't the kind of people that are. I was gonna say we were the nice people who are.
they were super just
We wouldn't ever judge somebody.
super nice and just hospitable, and like right away, like we started, because the Fisters practiced at my dad and brother's old business. We just had an extra room that we turned into a band room, so immediately we were just like, oh, Last Gang in Fisters room, and so it was we had a lot of time to bond.
You're like a hot bath. We just slipped right in.
Right.
That's why I said it.
It's been cool. He came at the right time, right before we hit the studio and before we started touring a lot. So it was like, it was.
I really liked him because in his other band he sings too, and it's really hard to be a front person. And I mean, I do it still. I sing every single word every single time, and it's nope, don't want to name drop. Somebody said like they saw we were on tour with them, and they're like, how do you sing every night all those words? Like, if I did that, I would pass out. And I'm like, I didn't realize I'm doing way too much, I guess. And it does hurt. My voice does tend to go. So I wanted Sean because he can sing. So if I can't sing a lyric because I'm just too out of breath or dying, I can just like back off the mic, and I can trust them to do the harmonies.
I know what you mean. Like you'll listen to certain albums and there's so many layers to it, and then you'll see the band perform live, and then there's like a person just singing this one layer, and it's like, oh, that doesn't sound exactly like it sounds on the album, whereas the rest of the songs, so like, it's weird that you actually do all of.
Yeah, I mean, we try. There are layers on the album that we obviously can't do live, but we do our best, and like I said, as long as the energy's there, like, I definitely don't want to be that band that.
We don't like just standing there.
Yeah, it's a fine line between having a really good album that sounds nicely produced versus something that doesn't represent who you are, and a lot of people don't want to hear something that's too DIY. I feel like what the public's ear is, they want something a little bit more sophisticated. They don't. This isn't the 70s. Punk rock isn't necessarily just 1-2 fuck you. It's not all about just the snotty, angry attitude. We've progressed.
Don't tell some of the people here.
I know. But no, I mean, that's the newer generation. Kids don't. Their ears are. I think their ears hear something a little bit more sophisticated. Not too much, at least in the punk rock scene. But so then live, you have to be able to deliver what your album has. So I think we did it. I hope we did it.
Hope so.
I don't know. You guys were in the audience. You have fun?
Yeah.
Again?
Fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's really hard bringing like a really big sound when you're a 3-piece. So in reality, Cameron is the one who kind of the guy who did our record. He's the one who kind of was like, he polished what we had, and we just kind of learned what we could with that. Like when every time you record a record, like you learn something new about the band and how to do things a certain way. And like ever since we did that, we're like, oh, okay, we can totally do this as a 3-piece,
Yeah.
Beforehand, I felt like we still brought the energy, but once you put out like a really good record, people want to hear both. You know, like it kind of puts a stress on you as a band. Like you want to be good and have the energy.
Yeah.
Which today we brought a lot of energy.
Boom, motherfucker.
Yeah, I was excited up there. That was fun.
Should we finish on Scenes with Rebellion? Which bands have you yet to see this weekend? Who's on your list?
Well, let me get my phone out.
I really
My brain's mush. I need like something to tell me what's happening.
Have you got a list?
I want to see Sham 69.
Yeah, well, Sham 69 tomorrow would be cool. I want to see Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes tonight for sure.
Definitely.
They're fucking awesome. And then yesterday, we saw Face to Face, Pennywise,
Teenage
Left
Bottle
Field
Rocket.
Rag.
I saw it, but
Yeah.
a bit
You
of
know who
it.
was really great today was Svetlana's.
Oh,
Of
dude,
course,
Svetlana.
cool, yeah. We played a lot of shows with them, and they're like your touring mates, so
Yeah.
we support each
Like
other.
you didn't know what you were in for, did you?
same
But I
time.
saw
Right. She's
Oh my
wonderfully
God.
So much
terrifying.
fucking energy.
Yeah.
And our tour buddy is Turbulent Hearts too. They're going to be playing tomorrow.
No,
at
Sunday.
Sunday at 9:45.
Yeah, very cool.
It's kind of like, I mean, it's not like I want to check them out because I already know all their songs by like heart by now. So it's more like I just want to go see them and like
we've been supporting
indulge in
each other,
their live show and enjoy it.
Screech Bats were fucking
Screech
awesome
Bats were
today
great,
too.
too.
God, I have
love
such a
them.
huge woman crush on that band. It hurts so much.
They should be way bigger than they are. I mean,
They're gonna be. There's somebody to watch out
dude,
for.
I
holy
want
shit.
them to come to the States and tour with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're easy on the eyes.
I think it was Brass Knuckle. I was told to watch as well.
Oh, that one band we saw yesterday. We walked in, Buster Shuffle.
Oh shit!
I think
Yeah, dude. It
Epic.
sounded just like Madness and the Specials, but not ripping it off.
Are they
you know what I
proper
mean?
old stuff? Are they proper old
I
stuff?
don't know. To be honest with you, the earliest album they put out was like 2012, I think, or 2010. So they're still a new band. I don't know if they're very old guys because we were kind of far away, but they played the big outside stage.
Well, our hotel room's like right next there, and we went back to the hotel for something, and I'm like, this sounds fucking amazing. Like, and then we went down and had some food at the vegan place right back there.
That's what's really nice about a festival like this is like just discovering
Yes.
new music.
Really
And, like,
Absolutely.
there is some cool, like, as much as there's like the bands like Sham 69 and stuff like that, like the kind of old guys.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the new stuff that
there's
gets me
the new
excited.
stuff that's like, yeah.
Like,
it's
we
really
walked in on that band earlier that we'd never heard of but looked amazing, and there was loads of them on the stage in the arena.
Oh, Matilda Scoundrels that were on before.
They looked amazing.
They were on the same stage as Screech Bats, but before Screech Bats.
Oh yeah,
And they had like an accordion.
Oh yeah.
They're cool.
Like, we were like, oh, fuck, I wish we watched all of that set.
Yeah, no, I
They were
caught half their
insane.
set.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, Luis Thestress.
Yes.
That's something I'm really excited about
Yeah.
seeing. I've been following her since like a little bit ago, and I'm really excited to see her powerhouse.
Up in 10 minutes.
Yeah, no worries, Will.
So you can make your way that way, or just heard about it, but short song.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
We'll wrap it up. Thank you.
That's just getting told off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
Leave that in.
Luis.
Oh, I always leave that in.
Yeah.
You just hit this. What's it of our podcast? Leave that in is our motto of one of the podcasts.
Yes, that's awesome. I love it. Sorry.
And showing out nights too. He's an acoustic chap. So there's what I'm excited about. For real, it's real excited about Luis Thestress.
And is Slaughter and the Dogs playing?
I think they are. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
The dude was watching our set, I believe.
Yeah, his girlfriend is from Huntington Beach, so
we
like
met them
I met her
yesterday.
through Brad Logan, and I was like, "Come catch our set."
Again,
Like,
that's another thing about this festival I love
Yeah.
as well. It's like just bands
Bands
watching
walking
bands.
around.
Like Alex from Wonk Unit's been here all weekend, just like watching.
yeah, I heard to check them out too.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who's awesome too? Pears.
Yeah.
Holy shit,
They were
dude.
the
What was
first time
the
we
hardcore
got.
band we watched yesterday?
Oh, All Torn Up. Fuck yeah, All Torn Up.
Oh,
is
good
like
call.
one of my new
Good
favorite
call.
bands. Yes, dude.
I would be embarrassed.
They're
if
from
we
New
didn't say
York.
anything.
Yeah, they're from New York, and they're
Really
fucking
fucking cool.
awesome.
So you missed Petrol Girls as well. Like,
They were on right before us.
Yeah, they were
yeah.
fucking amazing.
I heard that. I heard to go check.
I peeked my head inside for just a second before the chaos started. I like her energy.
Yeah,
She's just
She's similar to the lady from the Svetlanas. They've both got a
Yeah, she
similar
just-
kind of really aggressive energy. Like
Yes.
I said to you, like they both scream like their vocals, but it doesn't feel like they're screaming their
Yeah.
vocals.
It's more of a
It-
shouty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It really
some
works.
power that both of those have.
yeah. No, she was quite captivating.
How long is this thing? It's,
Uh,
we're like
34 minutes.
30.
So I can talk forever.
That's amazing. That's great.
No, I'm not rushing it. I'm just saying, like, I was
I'm a
like,
talker.
damn.
I'm a talker.
We'll wrap it up at that, otherwise we're going to get like locked in and told off
Yeah.
by security.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Yeah.